Hello fellow adventurers and collectors, Filmaholic here. Thought I'd never say those words ever again. So I apologize for the abrupt absence. I definitely did not plan on that, but I had a family emergency come up, so I had to attend to that. But that being said, I'm now back and I've been working on a couple projects and of course starting new ones, even though I haven't finished the other ones that I've done. But that being said, little updates here and there for this figure in particular. I swapped out some of the pouches, kind of make it a little bit more cohesive, but outside of that, I do plan on getting him a jacket at some point, but for right now, he's definitely a cool looking figure. And right before I had left, I purchased a lot of military parts and what have you, so that's the rifle he's using right now. Actually came from that lot, but unfortunately when it came to that lot, it didn't work out as planned, so I kind of got burned on how much I paid for it. But it is what it is. You just gotta roll with the punches, unfortunately. So not too bent out of shape for that one. Just gotta make do with what you got. Now that being said, here's a look at some of the parts that came into that lot. So it's pretty much just a bunch of guns and gear that Easy and Simple had made. I believe it was an Easy and Simple figure, but the person had just modified it, changed out some parts, and this is what I was left with. There was also a uniform set. I just forgot to mention it here. I may not know a lot about guns and stuff like that, but I do know they photograph well with my 1/6 scale figures, so yeah. Now, here's what I kind of meant in terms of it not entirely working out. I always forget that the early Easy and Simple bodies are not the best. They're kind of floppy, and yeah, they're just not my favorite. I know they work well for display pieces, but me being the one that photographs my figures, I kind of want something a little bit more rigid. So yeah, this is their Easy and Simple body. And something I'd like to discuss at some point is which type of head form do you guys like? The one with the neck attached or the one without? I'm torn in between as to whether or not I want which one, but yeah. Also included were some more magazines and stuff like that, and they kind of leaned into a more futuristic look, so I put them on my Pew Pew Gun figure. I forget what it's called, but I think the company is Pew Pew Gun. But yeah, this is actually a figure I meant to review a long time ago, but I lost the footage. But yeah. That being said, I was also working on this SHD agent from the Division, and I think it worked out pretty well. Just a combination of parts that I just had lying around, and that's kind of what I've been doing lately, just playing with what I have, and if I come across a lot, I'll add it to the pool. So figured this guy would make for a good SHD agent, or maybe a rogue agent or something like that. So a simple kit bash, and one that I'm glad that I didn't actually have to buy any new pieces for. So yeah, at some point either this year or early next year, I do have to do some body upgrades, which is gonna suck because buying bodies is boring, but it is what it is. Now, we've all seen my Lara Croft custom, and of course it's one of my favorite figures, but I saw that SW Toys was coming out with a release and I was able to find the head. Now, I am really torn as to which one I like. Each head sculpt has its own unique benefits, I really do think the first release head looks more like Laura in the first game, but this recent release does look more game accurate. I don't know, it's hard to describe because the actress that portrays Lara Croft in the new series has a unique look to her, so I don't think any of the head sculpts have really captured it except for the Master Team head, and I keep kicking myself for not getting that figure, but it is what it is. That being said, I'm not too sure what I'm going to be doing with this head sculpt. I kind of just bought it just to fail safe myself in the future for wanting it, but I really do like how it looks, and maybe I'll kit bash some different type of military figure out of it or something. I'm not too sure. Along those lines, I also got one of the head sculpts I've been hunting for years, and that is his Hot Toys Jill Valentine figure. Now, I don't really care for the new model that they have for the Resident Evil remake and what have you, so I've always leaned towards the Julia Voth portrayal of Jill Valentine, so when I was able to get this, I was over the moon because this is a head sculpt that I've been after for years and finally got one for a good price. now. I didn't leave G.I. Joe behind. I actually got a body recently, so I put one of my spare Action Man Eagle Eye heads on it. And that's the thing that I mentioned if you saw Paul Knapp's live stream a couple weeks back. I sent him a couple pictures of projects I was working on, but when I mentioned these Action Man heads, it was just loose Action Man heads that I just had lying around. I was looking for bodies, and sure enough I found one online. So unfortunately for me, most of the parts came with the figure, so I didn't really have to do too much to it outside of just replace the head. So yeah. Now that being said, a review that is going to take a little bit more time to work on, and one that I'm excited for, is this figure in particular. Definitely one that I was not planning on getting, but I found it at a good price, so stay tuned for that if you're interested in the more designer style of 1/6 scale figures. So that's a look at some of the projects that I'm working on, and I thank you all again for the continued support and, you know, sticking with me during my random hiatus. But yeah, that being said, I hope you liked what you saw, and if you did, please like, comment, and subscribe. I very much appreciate it, and I'll catch you all next time.